Hello and a very warm welcome to everyone joining today's SelectScience webinar titled Limitless Customization with an Open Ecosystem, How to Future-Proof Your Digital Lab Management. My name's Tom Casburn and I'll be moderating today's session. Due to the time and monetary costs that come with digital transformation processes, it is critical to make decisions that meet the long-term needs of your lab. In today's webinar, I'm delighted to be joined by 3 experts in lab digitalization who will be discussing how an open ecosystem program can enable laboratories to increase productivity and safeguard their ability to innovate in the future. To begin today's presentation, I'll shortly be handing over to Lara Matthews, who is an account manager at eLabNext and thus has a wealth of experience assisting in the optimization of lab digitalization for many key global players. During today's event, we'll also be hearing from Dr. Claudio Rolli, founder and CEO of FLUICS. Claudio has 10 years of research experience in life sciences, chemistry, physics, and material sciences. Out of his own frustration of searching for poorly labeled and unregistered samples in the lab, he developed an intuitive sample management and online labeling solution. In 2019, he co-founded FLUICS as a spin-off from the Technical University Munich to help researchers ease their daily lab work and to make science more reproducible. Finally, we're also joined by Ann-Claire Foetsch, a global marketing manager at Eppendorf. Ann-Claire has many years of experience in the medical industry, and in her current role, she is responsible for building partnerships and managing the going-to-market activities for Eppendorf Digital Lab Solutions. Following the presentation, we'll be moving on to our question and answer session. So if you do have any questions, please feel free to submit these at any time during the webinar. And you can do this by clicking on the purple tab on the left of your screen and then typing in your question. Without further delay, I'd like to hand over to Lara, who will now take us through the agenda for today's event.
Thanks so much, and a warm welcome to everyone. We really appreciate you being here. Today we're going to chat, as Tom mentioned, about the limitless customizations that we can do within an open ecosystem and how we can use these as a tool to future-proof our digital labs. Also, again, a special thanks to Claudio and Ann-Claire, who have graciously been able to join us and really give us a first-hand experience with regards to their own integrations. We're going to have a quick look at what's on the agenda for today. So today we will be speaking about the differences between open source and an open ecosystem and how we can understand those differences, how we can relate an open ecosystem to our life sciences research. How do we go about selecting the best open ecosystem lab solution to elevate your research that pertains to your laboratory? How an open ecosystem works and what it looks like here at eLabNext. And we will hear from, again, from Claudio and Ann-Claire on their add-on development experiences. So sit back, relax, and enjoy. And there will be a live Q&A at the end of the session. But in the interim, if you guys have any questions at all, please feel free to use the chat. And our experts and the rest of my team will be here to help you out. Hello and welcome. My name is Lara Matthews. I am an account manager for eLabNext. We are specialists in lab digitization software. My background is in biochemistry and molecular biology, but I have spent most of my professional career working within the pharma and medical device industries. In this webinar, I will take you through the limitless customizations that derive from an open ecosystem and how they can help future-proof your digital lab workflows. As I mentioned earlier, we also have 2 guest speakers who will be sharing their first-hand experiences with us today. Firstly, we will have Dr. Claudio Rolli. He is the founder and CEO of FLUICS Connect. We will then hear from Eppendorf's very own global marketing manager for digital solutions, Ann-Claire. We look very forward to hearing about both of your experiences, and thank you again for being available to share those with us today. Before getting into defining an open ecosystem, there are other terms that we need to discuss. In software, you will hear mention of both open or closed sources. This is referring to the availability of the original source code and the freedoms surrounding the use of that code. With open source software, the original source code was designed to be available to the public, so anyone can see, modify, and distribute it. The user thus has complete freedom. When it comes to closed source, it is exactly the opposite. It is completely controlled by the software vendor themselves. So again, we're differentiating here between open source and open ecosystems, and what exactly do the two of those mean? In the next diagram, we see something very similar, but we're talking about closed source here. With closed source, only the programmers of the software distributor may actually interact with this source code. It is always written in one language, which is then distributed to the users in the form of either software or hardware. Again, if we look to the right-hand side of the presentation, we can see the different categories laid out. The source is not open to the public. So again, that is what closed source means here. It is protected and only modifiable by the organization who has created it. Flexibility can sometimes be lacking here due to this. Hacks are still possible, but the private source code makes it difficult for hackers to be able to find these weak spots, which is why the security is so much better. Support is often very strong in a closed source environment. There will always be a dedicated team that is available to help with any issues or to answer any questions. The quality of the user experience itself is determined by the software vendor, who will have an entire development team behind the scenes. However, with closed source software, usability is typically high, since there is also a team of individuals dedicated to improving this aspect. So gathering your feedback, it all goes to one place, and these people, these teams can sit together and really focus on the improvements of the software itself. So with saying that, at eLabNext, we have closed source products. However, we have also seen that there are so many benefits that come with open source systems, where users have the flexibility and the freedom to customize. So that is why we have created an open source ecosystem within our software. So here at eLabNext, we have an open ecosystem. What does this mean? It means that we keep our closed source foundation, and we've added an extra layer on top of that so that users may integrate any third-party integrations, develop their own add-ons, or combine a range of items into their software themselves. The top portion of the diagram that we see over here, we can see the closed source that we spoke about that pertains to our software. So again, one language, secure, but less flexible. And what we then see is what we've created underneath here within this rectangle over here. And this is our extra added layer. This is our open ecosystem. We can see that the second half, so this open ecosystem over here, allows users to branch off and innovate or integrate and utilize third-party systems. An open ecosystem is the ideal combination for users to be able to personalize their software to fit exactly to their workflows without limitations, while still ensuring the security, the support, and the usability of a closed source software. So now that we know what an open ecosystem is, we can now understand why it is so beneficial. It combines the flexibility of the open source with the security and the quality of a closed source. How does it relate to life sciences research, though? It mainly ensures a more usable and secure and customizable ELN that helps to future-proof your lab by allowing inside integrations that pertain to you specifically. How exactly does an open ecosystem mean security and usability? The closed source system has a team of product specialists that are dedicated to the success of this solution, meaning there will be regular updating and constant monitoring of the software from the development team, as well as security measures put in place to ensure the safety of your data. Market research is done to learn about the potential implementations and to receive customer feedback. An expert support team is always available as well to help you along on your ELN journey. Your research will benefit from a fully personalized ELN, rather than being restricted to what is provided by your system vendor in terms of updates, add-ons, hardwares. You will then have the freedom to incorporate exactly what pertains to you and your lab's needs. Being stuck to one vendor, your lab can only utilize what they offer. So this can be costly, or you may end up paying for features or tools that your lab doesn't even use or need. With the flexibility that comes with an open ecosystem, you can adhere to your lab's budget while incorporating the exact software and hardware necessary for the type of research that you're doing. An open ecosystem software future-proofs your lab, and it does so by providing the freedom to integrate these different third-party integrations or softwares now and in the future. Your organization won't stay the same. It will grow, it will shift, it will change, and so will the needs and wants of your researchers. The open ecosystem ensures that in the future, your lab will have the freedom to incorporate or advance or innovate any inventions if desired. On the other hand, if your organization has a skilled development team, you will also always have the option to create or build your own integrations to add into your ELN. So, whether or not an ELN has an open ecosystem isn't always explicitly clear. We've had clients tell us in their past experiences working with an ELN vendor that promised an open ecosystem software, but that wasn't exactly true. They were unable to integrate the add-ons that they wanted to. They felt stuck within the ELN that they had purchased. So to avoid that sort of disappointment, especially after spending money and time onboarding and going through this whole process of starting with an ELN, there are a few factors you can consider to ensure that the ELN that you choose has an open ecosystem. So the most basic things that you can ask about or look out for is there an API and is there an SDK available for you to utilize? Availability means the software vendor provides their users with an extra layer to modify or to add to or to adjust to. And there's no better way to fully understand the product than to just try it yourself. Test an ELN, test that API, do a free trial or get your personal demo so that you can get a clear understanding of the usability of the software and whether or not it will actually support the demands and needs of your lab. Ask questions. Always ask questions. If at the time the support team is not being responsive to those questions or helping you out, it may also just be a really good indication of what type of assistance you will get once you're actually locked in as a client. Good support is extremely important when choosing your vendor. You never know what type of issues you may come across in the future, so it's always great to know that you have a company who has your back and who is there to help you out. An important security determinant is to also check for things like ISO certifications or something similar, not just the certification of the web server that they're using, but the actual certification of the company itself. So ISO certification is a longer and dedicated process for companies to go through, and it shows dedication to you as an end user and as a client as well. So here at eLabNext, we offer closed source software, but we have created an open ecosystem by offering an application programming interface, so the API we spoke about earlier, or SDK, which is a software development kit for those who may not know. An API is the core interface that allows software to interact with each other. That's what it does. Meaning an add-on can interact with the original source code. So again, that original source code that's kept by the company itself. The SDK is just a special type of kit that enables software developers to develop software for the application. And with our SDK, users can create all of their own add-ons to integrate into their ELN. At eLabNext, we are continuously working to connect more third-party add-ons for our users. In addition, our users have the freedom to create any add-ons that they need. You can even discuss this with us about creating or developing a specific add-on for you as well, if that's something that you may be interested in. We have also got a dedicated marketplace for add-on integrations. Our team is constantly working on expanding this list, but over here we can just see a few of them. So we have a barcoding integration, and this is with regards to barcode automations. We can really sort of streamline the processes within your lab by assigning barcodes to specific actions. So scanning a sample, scanning a barcode, whether it auto updates a sample, adjusts the quantity perhaps for the disposal of samples, etc. It's really handy to use in terms of automation of your processes. We have the sample lineage add-on. This is really great in terms of tracking the hierarchies of different generations of samples, so from parent down to multiple children and daughter samples. We can link to things like Dropbox. So if you guys are sharing a company Dropbox, and this is perhaps where you are storing all of your main data, you can have direct access to those files directly from within your ELN. We can use different Microsoft Office tools, so you can work directly from within Microsoft Office as well from within your ELN. We have a fantastic Eppendorf rack scan integration that allows you to do high throughput volumes of samples directly into your digital inventory. And we have the FLUICS print as well, which is just a fantastic integration in terms of being able to print really fast and fantastic labels for your samples. Developed by our team, again, the different barcoding that we recently spoke about, the barcode automation, or the linking of external barcodes. So if you have pre-barcode samples as well, we can link those barcodes into the system. The sample lineage that we spoke about, again, not only tracking between the parent and daughter samples and the multiple generations, but we can also link directly into our ELNs, so we can see a full lineage of which experiments, tests, projects, studies, etc. these different samples were used in or generated or created in. Dropbox was something that we mentioned as well. Again, access your Dropbox directly from within the ELN, and the Microsoft Office integration speaks for itself. But it allows you to use these tools that you would normally use without having to drag and drop and upload, download, re-upload, re-download all of these different files that you and your team are collaborating on and working in from within your ELN. These are some of our great integrations that you will hear more about just now that have been developed by other organizations. So we have the Eppendorf rack scan. It's used to scan complete racks rather than one at a time. So again, fantastic for high throughput. And then we have the FLUICS print integration. They are a startup company they were a startup company at the time, and they configured their label printers to work seamlessly within our software. Also, just really important to note that eLabNext is ISO certified, ISO 27001. All of our product specialists have backgrounds in life sciences and are happy to help you at any point in time with any questions you may have in terms of elevating your lab's digital journey. At eLabNext, we have a full scale of digital lab solutions. We have eLab Protocols, which is a digital protocol manager, so you can track and trace all of your different lab protocols and procedures from within one software. We have eLab Inventory, and this is a great way to manage all of your samples, storage units, and equipment directly from within a digital solution as well, keeping tracing track of all of those audit trails. And then we have eLab Journal, and eLab Journal includes both eLab Inventory and eLab Protocols, as well as having an inclusive ELN. The inventory and protocols are both also interactive and built into the eLab Journal, so you can access both from in one place. So please feel free to try it yourselves, and make sure that whichever software you choose is right for your research organization. If you are interested, we have a free 30-day trial and guided personal demo where our product specialists can get you set up on the exact configuration you need for your lab, give you any advice, and answer any questions. I am pleased to then announce our next guest speakers, who will chat a little bit about their experiences developing add-ons for the use within the eLabNext. As I mentioned, we have Dr. Claudio Rolli, the founder and CEO of FLUICS, and Ann-Claire Foetsch, who is the Global Marketing Manager of Digital Solutions at Eppendorf. So we'll hear next from Claudio, and after that, Ann-Claire. Thank you again so much, guys.
Okay, yes. Hello, I'm Claudio. Thank you, Lara, for this kind introduction and also the possibility to present our add-on for the eLabNext ecosystem here today in this webinar. So, as you mentioned, we are still a young company based in Munich, Germany, and we have different products, and one of them is like an online label printer, which allows this out-of-the-box label printing for the eLabNext ecosystem, which I want to introduce to you today. So what is actually online label printing? What do we mean with it? So as you can see here on the left side, you have your ELN LIMS or software running on different devices. And now instead of printing labels directly from the computer that is standing next to a label printer, online label printing works in a way that you first send your print job to the cloud, to a print server, and this print job is then received by the label printer, which is standing in the lab in the place where you're working. And then now the nice thing about this is that installation is very simple. You only have to connect this online label printer to the internet, and you don't have to configure it to a local network where you have to set up specific IP addresses, or basically you have to ask your IT service to help you with it. Then the second advantage is you can print from any device where you run your software, as long as you're online, of course, as long as you have access to the internet. And now the service that we provide is that all the print templates that, so whatever you're printing is validated by the printer settings, by the, like we're talking here about thermal transfer label printers, where you have the printing speed, the resolution, especially for smaller labels. This is very important. Also thinking about QR codes, which you want to print on these labels. And now the fourth part is the remote support. So because now these printers, they are connected to online print server, it is very easy to help customers to remotely troubleshoot if there is any problems with their print procedures. And that's actually was the moment where the people from eLabNext came to us and how we kind of started this collaboration, that they were interested in seeing this remote support implemented also in their portfolio. So how did the journey start? And as Laura just told you about the SDK, the software development kit, we used this software development kit and we programmed an add-on which is now available in the eLabNext marketplace. So whenever you open your account, you can go to the marketplace and you will find our add-on. And this is fully integrated in the eLabNext ecosystem. And in addition, we will provide you as a customer with a FLUICS print package, which includes like an activation key. It includes the label templates, like the designs that you can print. Of course, we provide you with the label printer and the labels. And in the next slides, I will just show you how this would work for you. So you go, you navigate to your marketplace. You can search here for print, and then it will pop up the FLUICS print add-on. And if you click on the details, you get a detailed view with another explanations, and you have to activate it. And then when you configure it, if you click on configure, you're being asked to enter the API activation key, which you get from us when you with purchasing your printer. And that's it. So once you have activated these steps, you can go now in your inventory. For example, in the inventory browser, you open a sample that you're interested in, and you will see now that you have now a new button, which is now highlighted here in yellow. It's a FLUICS print button, and if you click on it, you will get a print preview. You can choose from different label templates, which automatically generates the new print preview. And if you have connected more than one printer, you are also able to select the printers here in the drop-down menu. So for example, if you have your lab on different floors or in different buildings or in different areas, you can, in each sector, you can have an individual label printer, which still is accessible from everywhere. And then the only thing is you confirm with a click on the print button, and you get not only the label printed out, but you also get a notification which says in this case it was printed successfully, or if there is troubles, you will also get a specific error notification. So what you have now, you have in this case, this is an actual picture of how our labels look like. They're rather small, just so they're 1 inch by 1/2 inch size. They are dedicated for cryo storage, so or -80 like ultra low freezers or liquid nitrogen. They're smear proof, so if you wipe them with ethanol or isopropanol for sterilization, the printed text will not go off. And all the labels, they come with a QR code, which then allows you to scan this QR code by any other barcode scanner, and also including the eLab mobile application. So the label size and these configuration, these are optimized for cryo samples starting from 1 milliliter, like centrifugal tubes or plates. If you need different labels, different label size, different information that is being printed on the label, you can reach out to us and we will find together with you the perfect label, size, material, and content that you need, and will provide you the according template. Yes, so that's it. I thank you very much again, Laura, for on the eLab team to have us here today. For us, it was a very interesting approach, or a very, I think, very fruitful collaboration to use the SDK from eLab and provide our services then through this marketplace to the already existing customer base of the eLab ecosystem. So I thank you very much. If you have further questions, you can also drop me directly an email or reach out for me for the discussion. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thanks a lot also for giving Eppendorf the chance here to contribute to this webinar. I also would like to introduce myself and also a warm welcome from my side. My name is Ann-Claire Foetsch. I'm a global marketing manager at Eppendorf, taking care here of the digital solutions portfolio. And today in this webinar, I would like to highlight Eppendorf's stake in open ecosystems and how we are supporting you, our customers, the scientists and lab on your digital transformation journey. And especially the life science sector knows Eppendorf as a classic lab instrument manufacturer. Our pipetting solutions are probably worldwide known. We also operate in the centrifugation business. We have freezers, incubators, shakers in our portfolio. But of course, the world is changing and there's new technology out there which ease our lives, be it in the private realm as well as in business. And especially in the last 1.5 years, the impact of higher volumes of samples, lack of access to the laboratories, more digital processes, including audits, but also less opportunities to collaborate were huge. And there's this ever-growing need for digital software services and the digital connected lab, allowing enough headspace for what really matters, right? Science. And we at Eppendorf see the need for greater efficiency when it comes to lab management and the working environment in the lab as such. And it is also on us to help you here. And there are various approaches existing for optimizing laboratories, improving the use of existing assets through digital applications. And in the areas of sample security, device performance, maintenance management, as well as experiment management, we see the biggest need for digitalization. Our answer, in order to meet the new demands and overcome challenges in laboratories worldwide, is to offer a lab management software solution, which is not only enhancing productivity for all routine tasks in the laboratory, but also more. And here I would like to also introduce you to our Eppendorf digital platform, Visualize Lab Suite. Visualize Lab Suite is a universal laboratory digitalization solution to researchers. It enables overall digital lab management, including remote monitoring, notifications, maintenance planning, device documentation, as well as experiment options in the future. It is there for improving sample security, boosting your lab's efficiency, enhancing reproducibility, as well as conformity with increasing compliance pressures. We all know the stake here. And the solution should give you time to focus on what is important, science. And the platform setup looks as follows. It is a cloud-based platform which comes with integrated services and is exchanging data with connected instruments, but also goes further to enable instruments like pipettes to exchange data. We are working here with a trustful partner, Microsoft Azure, to also meet security standards worldwide. And the platform is designed to be a vendor-agnostic solution. So it also works with varying degrees of connectivity. So we are connecting not only Eppendorf instruments, so devices from Eppendorf, but also third-party suppliers. The platform itself, you get the access via a subscription model. And this allows you the flexibility and enough freedom to customize this solution based on you and your lab's needs. You can book additional services to the subscription. And the services operate, as you can see in the right corner, in the areas of alarm management, data access, device documentation, task management, and furthermore, it will be also extended to the area of experiment management beginning of 2022. And our plan is to also continually update the suite of services with more features, offering integrations with other partner platforms. It is a sustainable investment, so to say. And what is important also here to say is that the platform is designed to be an open platform for sensor integration, platform integration, and more, which also leads me to the topic of device connectivity. As said before, Visualize Lab Suite is designed to be a vendor-agnostic solution that works with varying degrees of connectivity, with devices manufactured by Eppendorf and third-party suppliers. So we are working here with connected, but also non-connected, so-called user-enabled instruments, thinking here about manual pipettes and so on. And one other important aspect here is, of course, the ecosystem. This is also the reason why I'm here today. We want to make data from devices, but also data from Visualize Lab Suite available for other systems. It should be your choice in the lab to decide for what is your leading system. And this is also why we are in the process of connecting to other systems, other platforms such as eLabNext. But of course, the question is how we are enabling interoperability. We are enabling connectivity also by means of sensors. So this way we can convert a connectable, legacy or third-party controlled, temperature-controlled device into a modern IoT device. SelectScience is an all-in-one sensor system that works with varying degrees of connectivity, so we can connect Visualize Lab Suite instruments then there, but also in future with other platforms so that you can monitor the real-time status of instruments and protect sample integrity. This is one of our biggest goals here when it comes to the sensor integration, connecting third-party instruments and exchanging the data. So the system, SelectScience, can capture, record, and transfer smallest changes in the environmental conditions, and you can use it to monitor lab rooms, CO2 incubators, fridges, or even freezers from any other supplier. So it's really about the temperature-controlled instruments. And with this extension, it would be also possible for customers, every labs in the world, to use, for instance, eLabNext to retrieve relevant sensor data, monitoring data, without even the need to log into Visualize Lab Suite. So what we want to offer here also with our digital solution is the ultimate flexibility. And this also brings me to my last slide, just to encourage you here to begin your digital journey, decide what is best for you and your lab, explore all the different options, and also thanks to eLabNext, we're also looking forward for integration partners and our partnership in general. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you ever so much, Lara, Claudio, and Ann-Claire for those excellent presentations. It's now time for our question and answer session. So if you have any questions, please do send them in now, and you can do that using the purple tab on the left of your screen. Just want to make sure that we have all of our speakers now. Lara?
Yep, I'm here. How's
Perfect.
it?
Excellent. So we've had a few questions come in already, and the first one here for you is, are customers also using the open ecosystem tools to develop add-ons themselves?
Yeah, certainly. We have many customers that have already got successful up and running integrations within our eLabNext platforms. Yeah, it is also just dependable when it comes to choosing these sorts of softwares. You're never going to find a 100% fit. So in that case, you find a solution, for example, that fits you 90%, and you then use the SDK to create that niche sort of function that perhaps specific labs need, that you can then integrate and make sure that you really then end up with a software that is highly usable and really does make a difference when it comes to your lab. So yeah, we do. We have many users that already have their customizations set into our eLabNext platforms.
Perfect. Thank you very much for that. The next question here is, how many add-ons are currently available in the eLab marketplace?
Okay, so I can't say a direct number offhand. We have roughly 40 currently that exist within our marketplace, but we also have many in the pipeline, and we have tons that become available regularly to our users as well. But there are currently about 40 new different add-ons and integrations that end users can then use to customize.
Brilliant. Thank you for that. Just a more general question now, and that is, how often do you provide system updates?
Okay, so this would pertain also to the different types of hosting solutions. So we have the sort of the multi-tenant cloud solution. We then have what we call dedicated installations, and these would be in the sense of a private cloud or an on-premise solution. When it comes to updates for the multi-tenant cloud, these updates are done very regularly. They are usually done, monthly, bi-monthly, new updates, bug fixes, things like that going on to ensure the smoothest flow of the software for all of our end users. And then when it comes to those dedicated installations, we ahead of time have set dates that we work with regards to those dedicated installation customers, and those go out quarterly. And this also then provides users time to also be able to have those updates scheduled to things like acceptance servers. When you're working in a more industry environment as well, you need to make sure that we can do those validations of those softwares as well for our end users. So dedicated installs, those are quarterly, and then multi-tenant cloud, those are happening a lot more often.
Brilliant. Thank you very much for that.
Great.
So we've got another question from our audience here, and that is, how does eLabNext ensure functionality of customer-developed solutions using the API or SDK?
Yes, but I'm not sure if you wanna answer that. That is also a bit more down your alley. Can Jesper hear us?
Absolutely, no problem at all. That's a great question. First of all, it's important to understand that the add-on is separated from the core functionality. That's why we developed the API to communicate with the database and the software development kit to put this functionality on top of the core platform. First of all, we will always do a quality control, a full check on the quality of the add-on before publishing it. And both the API and software development kit will always be maintained to always ensure a direct connection between the add-on and the core functionality, to ensure that any update of the core will never influence the functionality of the add-ons.
Brilliant. Thank you very much, Jasper, for that answer there. Just a reminder to our audience, if you'd like to submit a question, you can do so by clicking on the purple tab on the left of your screen and then typing in your question and pressing submit. So we've got time for just a few more questions before we wrap up the session. And the next one here for you, Lara, is can we install the system ourselves?
All right, so again, very much dependent on the type of hosting solution that you're going with. But if you are using a multi-tenant cloud, for example, there is no actual installation that needs to take place. You just need to have a working internet connection where you can log in from. So there is no need for you to spend money on different hardware in that case specifically, or have to download something onto your device itself. It really is a matter of having a working internet connection, whether you're using a laptop or whether you are using your work computer, a tablet, other type of mobile device, etc. There's no need for an actual install. It just requires a working internet connection for you to log into.
Brilliant. Thank you very much for that clarification. Well, I think that's all the questions that we have at the moment. So I'd like to I'll hand back over to you shortly. Just a reminder to our audience, if you do have questions, you can submit them now, or you can email me at editor@SelectScience, and we'll follow up on these after today's event. You can also download a certificate of attendance in the related resources tab, which is indicated by the file icon on the left of your screen. And if you'd like to listen again to today's webinar or invite a friend to listen, it'll be available to watch on demand in a few days' time. I'd just like to hand back over to Lara now to conclude today's event.
Great, thanks so much. All right, guys. Well, we just wanted to say thank you so much, and we hope that this was insightful. The main purpose of today's event was to just sort of have an open conversation about, what do we face as software companies and developers, and what is open source and what is closed source, but more specifically, what is an open ecosystem, because this is not something that is often spoken about. So what can we do with an open ecosystem to really achieve a functional, personalized environment for your research space, especially with regards to digitalization, because that's the way everything's going within this world. So if you have any questions, again, feel free to pop them through to us or to pop them through to SelectScience as well, and we will make sure that we get back to you. And if you would like to have a trial of our eLabNext software, you are more than welcome to do so as well. You can find a link to our trial on our website at eLabNext.com. And again, if you have any questions for Claudio or Ann-Claire as well, you can send through all of those through to SelectScience. And if you want more information with regards to their products too, we will get in contact. So again, thank you very much, and thank you SelectScience as well for hosting us. We had a really great time, and look forward to the next one.
Brilliant. Thank you very much. Goodbye.